Good morning and welcome to Coffee and the Word. It's Monday morning and it's time for you to be encouraged. This is my Monday morning encouragement, and I hope you had a great weekend. But more than that, I hope you took the time to go and gather with other believers. Fellowship is so vitally important. And so if you didn't do it this past weekend, ask yourself, what prevented me from doing what God has called me to do? The scripture says, do not forsake the assembling of yourselves together as the manner of some is. But that's something that we need to assess in our life. Like, do we go to church or do we assemble with the saints? And that's something that I just want to encourage you. I know that yesterday was the weekend, but we've got another one coming up, and I want you to think on this week that it's time for you to get back in fellowship with believers. And we're going to talk more about that in the future. But today our Bible verse comes from Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 8. And I actually can show it to you on the screen. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." The fear of the Lord is, it's one of those things where if you don't grasp this concept of what the fear of the Lord actually is, it's going to be difficult for you to understand the Bible as a whole, because multiple times this concept of the fear of the Lord comes up. And let me just kind of eradicate maybe one belief about the fear of the Lord. And one of the beliefs I think that we may have about the fear of the Lord is we're supposed to be afraid of God, terrified, trembling in fear before God. And He is a consuming fire. And there is reason to be afraid of what He is able to do. But the fear of the Lord here isn't talking about that. The fear of the Lord here is talking about acknowledgement of just all He has done. The fear of the Lord here is a level of honor and respect. It's not that you fear what God can do, it's that you fear not living up to God. It's that you fear that you won't excel in what God has called you to. And so the fear of the Lord motivates you. And that's why the proverb writer here says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is where it starts. Is I want so desperately to honor God. I want so desperately to be able to make God proud, in a sense. And so that begins the process of discovering how you can achieve that. And I'll give you an example. We might say today that we have a fear of our spouse. And the fear isn't that your spouse is somehow going to harm you. The fear is that somehow you may harm your spouse, or you may fail to honor your spouse. That's what the fear is talking about. It's a poor use of the word for our context. But that's what the proverb writer is suggesting is you want to live such a good life. And so if you want to live that life, to honor your spouse, to respect your spouse, so that your spouse feels loved and honored and cherished and regarded, then the way you would accomplish that is to learn her, to understand her, to get a better understanding of what she desires and what she wants, or what he wants, or what he hopes for. And so that's where this text is coming from. But listen to the last part, because I don't want to miss the last part. The first thing is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. That's where we start. Because we have this admiration and respect, and we know He is due the honor, we learn, we seek the knowledge. The second part is interesting. He says, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And I love this part, because the truth is that we know this to be true. The fools don't want to be guided. That they don't seek wisdom. They don't seek instruction. They don't seek the way that they can get out of. They just stay stuck in their pit. And so I want to encourage you this morning. Seek the knowledge of God because of your admiration and fear of Him. And test yourself and ask yourself, am I being foolish? And am I ignoring wisdom and knowledge, or wisdom and instruction that God has given me? Am I ignoring wisdom and instruction that I've received from wise counsel? There are things that we keep doing in our lives that prove us to be foolish because we refuse to heed wise counsel. That happens in our walk with God, and it happens in every aspect of our life. So let's not be foolish today, but let's be wise. Let us, because of the fear of the Lord, gain more and more knowledge of Him. Hope you have a wonderful Monday. This is a great launch to your Monday, right? Today is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. I want to live out the purpose that God has preordained for me. He already knows what He wants from you. Do you know what you're willing to give Him? God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. This has been another edition of Coffee and the Word.